Hi, I'm Trevor Vaughn. We are here discussing the modern and ancient perspectives on philosophy, knowledge, and that fun stuff, education. And we have two people arguing either side, which would be Mr. Trevor Olinger.
Hello. I believe that Plato had the right idea with his ancient perspective because the spiritual well-being of people is far more important than any physical needs that they have.
Very valid argument. And now, on to my right, we have Mr. Tyrell. Tyrell.
Sorry, didn't see you there. My name is Tyrell Braun, and I am going to be defending the modern philosopher's side because it is all about the self, and as we know, it's all about us nowadays. Whether it be healthcare or education, it's all about us.
Now that we're done with the introductions, knowing who's doing what, Trevor's going to go ahead and start explaining Plato and the ancients' background.
Yeah, the ancient perspective is a lot about the society over the individual. It's more about the good of the people rather than the good of a single person. And Plato believes in separation of the mind from the body. Or he at least makes you think that Socrates believes that. But it's Plato's words. Plato's The Cave can still be applied to the world today. People still have politicians, which are like the poets, telling us what to see, what to do, how to live. And these ancient philosophers believed in separating the physical needs from basically the spiritual needs. Let's talk about Aristotle for a minute. He was big on physics. He believed in recollection. And in order for there to be recollection, that would mean you would have to know something before you were born. They believed that that would be the most pure way to think about things, is after death.
Well, those were some very interesting facts from Trevor on the ancient perspective. And now we'll move over to Tyrell to get some background information on the moderns.
Yep. So, the modern way of thinking is pretty much exactly the opposite of what Trevor was just talking about. For them, it was about like the metaphysical and all that stuff, but for the modern belief, it's the ego, it's the self. You know, all of this is just to better protect yourself and enhance your, own way of life. Descartes was the father of modern philosophy. And like I said, he focused on the self. One of his more famous quotes was, "I think, therefore I am." From where he started out, with like the groundwork for the modern philosophy, the later philosophers just kind of added on, they kind of built on it. Hobbes was the next one, and he added in the right of life, which, was about like the Leviathan and stuff like that, Then Locke, he added in life, liberty, property, and religion. And then Mill got really specific when he added in the harm principle. So Descartes believed that the highest good was health. It was the foundation for all the other goods. Science is now the modern philosophy, which I think is correct because today it is exactly the same as what he said. Like, it went from there and it went on through Hobbes, Locke, Mill, and all them, and now, it's pretty much based on that today. We have medicine, we use applied sciences for our benefit, to enhance our way of life.
So with kind of the background information gone through, found that some of the beliefs are built off of, modern beliefs are built off of the ancient beliefs, and some of the ancient beliefs are fairly valid, but somehow modern has still prevailed. And so why do you think that is, that the modern is still here today? That is our way of looking at things. It's been built on and whatever, but it's still that way. But the ancients is really not there.
Well, honestly, the reason I think that the modern way of thinking prevailed is because I believe that it's built into our DNA to be different, and even if you were kind of, like in Sparta and you had to suppress all those, feelings and stuff like that, everybody still wanted to be different. They knew that they were good at things, and they knew what they wanted to do, but it wasn't for the best back then. So I think, individualism, you can see it today. There's, people that are great and, at football or, stuff like that, but if everybody was forced to play football, not everybody would be very good, do you think a football player could go do brain surgery or, something like that?
How happy would people be?
Yeah, exactly. So, I think the main reason that it prevailed is because it really is built into our DNA to want to be different and to do our own thing because it makes us happy.
Yeah, gives us that greater happiness.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about these pretty valid points?
Society is still far more important than any one person. You gotta have all the individuals working together to get anywhere in life. I think that Descartes has copied a lot of Plato's ideals, and I have an article cited here by Stephen Buckle. It's called Descartes, Plato, and the Cave. And Descartes' philosophy is heavily reliant on Plato. He used Platonic doctrine, and in the Meditations on First Philosophy has a modern rewriting of Plato's Cave, which is basically plagiarizing Plato. That's what Descartes has done.
Well, the way I look at that is the way he grew up, he was taught those things, so it was like he was in the cave, and everybody was given their own ideals and stuff like that, and, just he made his own decisions, which is where, I have my source, and it's from George Mead, which one thing that he says in it is that the ancients tend to focus more on the past, and which is kind of why it never went anywhere. They just kept focusing on the past. Well, he knows where Descartes knows where, what his past is, and he doesn't completely shun, those teachings, but he moved on. He started his modern way of thinking after having this background, and he made his own decision to, think the way he wanted to, which is, like I said earlier, it's how we got here.
So that's everything. All the arguments were fairly valid, but as I'm sure you can tell, we are fairly one-sided with this. While we respect the past, and I'm sure Descartes did as well, the modern perspective is just much more superior to us. Kind of like Tyrell said.
It's important to be able to figure out the meaning of life, which, was a big thing even for the ancients. Just being able to figure out the meaning of things, which that is important. We're not denying that, but we just think that it's better to be able to do that by yourself, to be able to have the right to figure out what the meaning of life is to you. We just felt like showing both sides of the argument would kind of bring out the superiority of our argument.
Yeah. So that, Trevor Vaughn, Trevor Ollinger, Ted O'Brien. Thanks.
Hey, well, this was the end of our video, that last little clip, but to us it kind of seemed like we hated doing it, like we might have given off that feeling. So yeah,
After watching it.
yeah. So you don't have to watch any more of it, but we're adding on bloopers because we kind of sucked and we got to show you. So
some pretty good ones.
yeah, so it's mainly him.
It's not my fault.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Trevor Vaughn. God damn it, I can. Did you hit the beat?
Yeah.
Now that we're done with the Jesus stuff, we're going to discussing each side's something. What are they called? It's a good way to put that. Why are you laughing?
How is that not a blooper? Each side's something?
Okay, you gotta stop laughing. I'm Trevor Vaughn.
Yeah.
I saw it out of the corner of my eye.
Glad you have an opinion.
That was
There's a Platonist, Platonist, I don't know how to say that word. Yeah, I'm just gonna set that out. I wanted, like, I literally. Okay.
I think that's long enough.
Yeah. Oh, that was the beep.